Welcome to Wild Battle, where the animal kingdom comes to life in epic clashes, fierce competitions, and wild hunts. Most likely, the elephant wanted to cool off on a hot summer day, but it turned out to be a fatal mistake, as within minutes it was surrounded by a horde of hungry hippos. It's unknown how the events unfolded afterwards, but one would hope that the elephant managed to safely make it back to the shore. The European hare wanted to practice high jumps as if preparing for the Olympic Games. Doing it alone was boring, so it found a way out of the situation. It decided to involve a dangerous reptile, which clearly had different plans for the long-eared jumper. The battle between the two hoofed animals often ends in a complete total failure for one of them. This buffalo is trying with all its might to stay on its feet and retaliate for its public humiliation. But alas, its opponent is too strong to be dealt with one-on-one. When the little rabbit kittens were left alone, a rattlesnake instantly tried to devour them. Noticing this, the mother rabbit immediately launched an attack. It pulled the predator away from the nest, repeatedly kicked and shook the reptile with all its might, not giving it a chance to escape punishment. The leopard seized the moment when it could firmly grasp the opponent by the throat. After that, it pulled the crocodile out of the water and headed towards the thickets of bushes. In this case, the strength of the spotted cat prevailed, and the reptile was caught by the predator right in its own territory. The buffalo kept the aggressive rhinoceros on edge for a long time, despite being slightly smaller. But one careless move led to being taken down by the opponent. "We don't abandon our own in trouble." This phrase couldn't describe better the family relationships of buffaloes in a herd. If one of them is under attack by fierce predators, the other horned comrades immediately come to their aid. There is hardly a more successful crocodile hunter in the world than the jaguar. It has become a true professional in this business. Therefore, no one has any doubts that it can handle any prey, and any crocodile too. Two little sheep decided to clarify who's the boss. However, they chose different tactics. One went for the charge and ram approach, while the other opted for stand your ground and fend off attacks. How their battle ended remains unknown. It's no wonder they say there's strength in numbers. A whole pack of hungry hyenas decided to have a wildcat for lunch. Using the tactic of bite and run, they noticeably rattled their potential prey's nerves. But as we can see, the visibly tired animal wasn't about to give up prematurely and took a brief pause. It went to the water hole simply to catch its breath. If you're ever asked why you came home later than usual, you can confidently say that you were at a fight club. And it would be absolutely true, because you were actually watching an exciting fight between two hares, honing their combat skills on each other. The lion family couldn't even imagine that someone would have the audacity to encroach upon their territory. But such a hero was found after all. The fearless youngster began making intimidating sounds, in its opinion, and even lunged at the predators. The shocked and clearly bewildered felines tried to fend off the intruder, but it was too persistent. The hyenas were so confident in their strength that they were not afraid to attack a large elephant. However, the elephant showcased its power and devised an effective way to quickly disperse the intruders. A herd of elephants arrived at a watering hole to quench their thirst, only to find a couple of cunning predators waiting for them. Without hesitation, the elephants decided to drive away their persistent crocodiles and successfully executed their plan. For some reason, the lion decided to bite its chosen mate. Apparently, that's how it shows its love. But the lioness had a character and clearly demonstrated that such behavior was not acceptable. The buffalo observed the lurking cat for a while, and then thought, what the heck, and charged. As a result, this venture proved not in vain, and the predator, limping on one leg, fled far away. Curious monkeys are easy prey for crocodiles, so one primate found itself trapped in the middle of a water hole. Perhaps its final moments were already counted. But the predator made a fatal mistake. It approached closer to the shore, where a whole troop of monkeys awaited, ready to stand up for their fellow. As a result, it ended up getting a taste of its own medicine. The lioness desperately clawed at the body of its prey, trying to gain the upper hand. But the zebra was not about to give up so easily and did everything possible to make its attacker suffer as well. Think two monitor lizards decided to dance a passionate Argentine tango? In reality, in such an unusual pose, the lizards were trying to determine who was stronger, to bring the opponent down to the ground and secure their victory. That was the main goal of this dance battle. A lion family was enjoying their meal when their tranquility was suddenly disrupted by a crocodile, clearly claiming a piece of fresh meat. One of the lionesses immediately showed the uninvited guests its snarl, but the intruder was in no hurry to retreat. That's when the leader of the pride took matters into its own paws and swiftly drove the intruder away. The intentions of the cobra were simple. It wanted to feast on the chicks. However, the chicken didn't inquire about the purpose of the visit and boldly launched an attack to protect its brood. The harmless domestic bird became a true hero for its own offspring. The swan clearly didn't like the random passerby walking in the park with its owner. The haughty bird flared its feathers and attempted several times to strike the frightened dog with its wings. Luckily, the instigator of the fight quickly calmed down when it realized that there was no threat from the four-legged creature. Not many animals would dare to provoke a venomous snake intentionally. But this furry creature is not among the timid 10. It assumes a dominant position and actively tries to engage its opponent. Finally, it even drives the reptile into retreat. Camels are truly desert kings. They are not as gentle as they may seem at first glance. Look at how this tyrannical animal deals with a small donkey. The camel bites its neck with sharp teeth, lifts it in the air, and throws it to the ground, accompanied by a menacing roar. The naive young piglet should have been more cautious during walks near bodies of water. You never know what toothy creature might be lurking there. It's a lesson for the future. The agile snake quickly snatched a tasty morsel, a frog from the water. Before satisfying its own hunger, it decided to give the frog a kind of aquatic amusement ride. Another lion king and its royal entourage wanted to savor the tender meat of a hedgehog. However, they too had to first deal with the spiky shield of the mammal. So the mission turned out to be impossible. Welcome back to Wild Battle Channel. If you're intrigued by the intense confrontations, fierce fights, and exhilarating hunts in the animal world, you're in for a wild ride.